All right. Hello and welcome everyone to the first session for our Selenium Live project, the batch of March 26, 2015. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for participating and opting to go through this project with us. So before I get started, I just want to make sure that you all have got an opportunity to go through the orientation session that we did last week, and now you have a significant amount of idea on how this project is going to work. But as a quick summary, if I may, let me pick up the folder that I created, or rather the document that I created last time, and walk very briefly through how we've done that. Yeah, I have two different folders. So say orientation document. So in this primarily team, we did a few polls. I just want to make sure that you all are aware that it is not for the experts and it is not for the absolute beginners. We expect as a prerequisites for participants to have gone through the Selenium training with IT Learn, be it videos or live, uh, and have a significant comfort level. I wouldn't say someone who's an expert or knows exactly how to program, automate, or create frameworks, but comfort level on things like IDE, WebDriver, Code Java, JUnit, and a little bit on frameworks. Not You don't have to be someone who can write your own code so far, but at least someone who can read that code. All right. So then I briefly mention about what happens through the project. As I said, you will all be part of a team. I believe there are about 75 all odds or so participants who have opted in for this project, out of which I would say about 50 may be very, very active. The others may not be that active. So the 50 participants, I don't know how many teams we have divided. We'll see it in a second. That is going to be your team. You will once be assigned to the team. You're going to be working with that team and you're going to be executing this entire project with that team. All right. How you're going to work, how you're going to communicate within your team, have your daily status calls, work for 2 3 hours parallelly at your home, but being connected, be it through WhatsApp, Skype, GoToMeeting, and any other form of communication that you will be collaborating with your team parallelly. And as I said, every week we will meet two times. These two sessions that we meet is not about we talking, it's about you coming and showing us what progress you've made in your project as a team. And when you talk about it, you are actually talking about the project in such a way that when you get to an interview and when you talk to an interviewer about what your expertise is, you present it in the similar fashion. So this will give you that platform to launch you, to give you that confidence, and to see also how other teams are doing and learning from it. All right. So that's a brief summary of what it is. As I said, what happens at the end is you get the project experience that you can take and put it on your resume. It will also be a referenceable one, in the sense that if someone calls us and says that, hey, I believe so and so has done a project with you, can you confirm? And we will validate that information depending on your participation. And team, let us be very honest with it. If you don't participate, if you just pay your money and don't attend these sessions and don't do anything, you will not get that reference from us. We track everyone, we see who's presenting, we see who's working hard. All right. This is not going to be an easy cake for you. You have to work hard, team. There's no question. But at the end, we know the benefits are significant. So all you need is focused approach for the next 2 3 weeks, and you should do very, very well. All right. The other thing, team, is you will get that confidence to be able to work with a global team, overcome challenges, how you execute and run a project, to learn new technologies, and how you can adapt to the changing environments. Suddenly you'll see that this one day the requirements have changed, the other day you will see that there is suddenly a timeline that has changed, or the team has changed, or a new tool has been added. So you will constantly get exposed to all of these things, some deliberately, some not so deliberately, as part of this project. Okay. But the idea is you must be very, very excited when you see a challenge coming to you. That will lay a great foundation for you. All right. Because challenges is the only thing, team, through which all of us learn. For example, if we were kids or even now and we got to learn swimming or biking, it will not happen without you drowning once or twice at least or falling. Those are the challenges, those are the hurdles that you will overcome, and that is when you win. So be very happy when you get that, because that's your moment of learning. So as I said, hands-on experience team. You will be building that hands-on experience. Okay. And this is very important because from a resume perspective, if you don't have hands-on experience, people will talk about, hey, theoretical, we're not so interested. You will build your expertise in how you present yourself, how you talk, your communication, how you do your documentation. You will get those aha moments in a big manner all through these sessions. When I say aha moment, what does it mean? You will assume for a long time in your career that this is how things work, and then all of a sudden you will get an exposure saying that nope, this is not how it is, this is how it's going to be. And that's going to be an aha moment, and those moments will get you to be a stronger you, a better you. And that is the idea, team. And please don't be a weak heart. We will give you critical reviews. It is not going to be a session where, you know what, it's okay, no problem, come back next time and do it. Nope. It's going to be very cutthroat. I'm going to give it straight to you guys that this is not a good job. This is a bad job. And here is where you have really messed it up. This is cannot be accepted in the today's IT industry. The intent is not for me to criticize you. The intent is for me to tell you the criticality of such things. And this is your only opportunity when you get a feedback and you will still stay in a project. In your real time scenario, you will get a feedback and you may be out of the project. So let's understand that not only for yourself but for everyone else. Okay. And you should look at it, team, and learn from everyone, not just what you do. All right, so we talked about resume, we talked about this, and a few polls that we conducted, and that's about it. That's what we primarily did in the orientation. So far, so good, everyone. Was that a decent summary that you could grab with? All right, so I believe there's a couple of people, only audio is here, screen is not shared. Team, just to let you know, there are dozens of participants in this session. All of them have uh, a decent audio and a visual. If you have an issue, you need to probably log off and log back in. Okay. All right, great. So now let's get into the next phase. And the most important thing when it comes to, where is this folder now? Okay, contact sheet is here, new, Google Doc, I'll say day one, session one. So what are we going to do in the session one? We will talk about the scope of testing. We will talk about the timeline. We will talk about the application under test. We will talk about the automation and test management tools, and we will talk about what to expect through this project, okay, towards the end. So this is what we're going to talk about, team. The way it works, team, is very simple. We need to give you a real time project. We cannot give you a project that is dummy. You know, most simple example is that flight simulator that probably for over a decade plus people have learned HP quick test professional from and put that as an experience or a training content. It does not work, team. There's no challenge in it. There is no feel for things and so on. The way we do it, it has to be a real project that has a real requirement. Okay. And it should be challenging enough to get you to use the automation tool to a significant level. Okay. At the same time, it has to have a limited scope to complete in the given timeline. This is not a project that will stretch for 3 months or 6 months or a year and so on. These are very, very small projects. Okay. They are like the projects that fit in that 2 3 weeks of window, development, testing, everything. Now, based on this set of information, I have three options that I could share with you, team, and I'll tell you which one we're choosing and why we're choosing. So one is a complete redesign of IT eLearn website. We are coming up with a brand new theme. We are working on the development of it, and there is a significant amount of effort that is being put on this right now as we speak. All right, this is all happening in the background, and you are the only audience who's getting a preview at it at the moment. The reason we have not publicly done it is because we have not yet tested it. We have done a very minimal amount of manual testing. We have not really done a significant amount of testing on it. As for features, it's got the social share links. It's got a login section. It's got a sign up section. It's got contact us, many other menu items, and as you scroll down further, you will see how each and every course has been represented. All right. So let me go back to the main page. So, for example, let's talk about the popular courses. What are the courses that are very popular out here? And some of these prizes and what you see as students and reviews and all that are not are just representative. They do not have the real data as yet. And then, if you, for example, click on any of the courses, let's say you click on Master of Software Testing, it takes you to the home page for that specific course, and it talks about further details on it. And once a user signs up or logs in, what does he or she have access to, and so on. So all this continue to give you that breadth of things. This site is about 70% executed. It's not got anything beyond that right now. So uh, we don't have the complete uh, site developed yet for testing, but I think it's got a decent amount of functionality. That is option one, team. Now, from an automation standpoint, there are a lot of things that you could do. We could talk about how we go about doing the uh, search functionality. How does the course pages align with expectations? Are all the components available for every course? For example, reviews, number of students, the title, the main course image, the related links, and how an option for the candidates to take that course, and so on, team. All right. Now, this is a in development new version of IT Learn. The end product may be significantly different from what you're seeing, but it is under development. Okay, this is one. The second one is called mybreakmasters.com. Mybreakmasters.com is a client that we're working with. We have been associated with them for their complete online marketing, online launch, everything. So A to Z of their online world, we are taking care from our incorporation. Now, what we've done here is we have created primarily static web page with all features in it. At the moment, almost every feature has been put together, I believe, except for scheduling an appointment, which will come very soon. Uh, the idea is that there's a lot of content in these pages that could be tested, and there are very few forms. For example, we talk about contact us form or a coupon form, and so on. And that basically gives the ability for us to test a finished product, not necessarily something that is underway. But if you look at it, it is primarily very static team. It doesn't have too many dynamic elements, or in terms of running a data driven framework or keyword driven framework, and so on. It's pretty static, it's pretty straightforward website, and so on. That's mybreakmasters.com. The third one that is still under pre-beta version, if I may say, is Howley.in. Howley.in is an application which will is basically a curated version of short social videos that are getting shared across the web. We've collated them together, and on a regular basis, we launch it and we put it up here. What we hope to see is this audience increasing. We hope to see how the shares happen through it, and if it's really picking up in terms of the demand for such things, especially with our WhatsApp and other simple communication tools. So this one has some basic features which is pretty interesting. One is every video has a layout. It's got a few sets of information like who has uploaded it, when it has been uploaded, the number of views on it, any social shares, comments, likes, and so on. And when you click on any video, it will show you the template of how that page looks, and that could be something standard that you can try and automate and see if it's working for every page. Let me make sure I have this paused. And then there are features which we are currently developing and underway, which is registration, login, which is underway. You could use a scan register, use a scan login, and that could be something that you could automate. And you could also automate the portion where it automatically does a registration. It goes into Gmail, checks for information, comes back, and logs in. Then we have the search functionality as well. Apart from that, it is kind of very simply simple, straightforward. These are the three applications, team. One is pretty vast. It's got a lot of content in it. Also, it's got a lot of features. Yes, it needs significant amount of testing too. The second is very simple, straightforward, nothing dynamic, nothing big in terms of user registrations or participations and so on. And then we have Holiday.in, which is somewhere in between. It's got best of both the worlds. Now, if I go back to what I said as session one, we want to make sure that we have an application that is real. It's challenging enough to get to use the automation tool to a significant level. At the same time, the scope is limited to a certain activity so that it does not create too many. Uh, Sorry, how do I say this? Uh, it does not create an endless cycle, because sometimes there's no end to it, team. Just setting up this will be very long. Seeing all this, I was proposing Howley.in, but what I could do is, team, can you all hear me okay?
Yes, Karthik, we can hear you.
All
Please
right,
go ahead.
cool. Because there's so many participants, and all of a sudden there are three or four who say that, hey, I cannot hear, probably a technical issue at their end, and that kind of triggers an alert. So our choice, as I discussed with Manoj and Shankar, I didn't get an opportunity to talk to you about it, but is Howley.in. But what I could do is, just to keep things open and transparent with the team, why don't I quickly add a poll, manage polls, and you tell me, guys. You tell me which application you choose, okay? And remember to vote based on those three requirements that I've given, because it has to be complex enough that we can use an automation tool. It's not too straightforward and simple. It has to be limited enough that we can go and do an end-to-end testing on the scope and not leave anything. And it has to be a real-time project. All right. So I'm going to create a new poll. Application under test. Choose one. Okay. First is new itelearn.com. And team, by the beginning of next project, we'll get two or three more projects added in, and you will look at it. Then we have howley.in, and then we have um, mybreakmasters.com. Okay, so these are the three ones. Probably you don't get a chance to see this yet. I will launch this poll in a second, and you should be able to then. So save this and launch a poll, application and test, you choose. Okay. All right, participants, please take a few seconds and fill in your choice of the application. Which one would you want to choose? Okay. And depending on that, we will take a conscious decision and move in that direction. I've got just about 40% votes in. Remember, as to the idea of it, which one is doable. Team, I don't want to be biased about it, but just let you know that IT Learn is not yet in a shape to be completely tested, the new version. It is got so many broken holes that uh, typically we'll come back and say, hey, you know what? I don't think it is ready for automation yet. Because what happens with automation, team, is we go about in the route of automating things, and then the application, if it's not really ready, then we can't really run things. You can keep everything at hand and then be ready for it, but not really run things. So um, almost 85% votes in. I'm going to quickly share this, and let's see which one we choose based on that. All right, everyone. Can you all see the results? Yes. So what I have here is about 50% saying for IT Learn. We have 8% for My Breakmasters and 42% for Howley.in. And that kinds of puts me in a tricky thing. It's between that 50 and 42. Definitely not My Breakmasters for an automation project. Now Howley.in or newitlearn.com. Uh, it's pretty close. Let me ask between Shankar and Manoj, because they also come from that very strong QA automation background, what they think we should take as part of this project execution.
So, yeah, my point of view is like typically we go for an automation once the application is stable. So, because again, as just now you spoke about a couple of things that we keep on encountering. So with that, I'll go for Howley.in. Uh, but again, yeah.
Yeah.
So my vote for Howley.in, yeah.
Manoj?
Yeah, Karthik, I'll also go with Hobby.in because it has a lot of functionalities, and I think it will be good for automation project because here we will get a lot of things to do. So I'll also go with Hobby.in.
Okay. All right. So, team, the reason I'm saying it is if there was a significant difference, like let's 70% said IT learn and how the remaining said, okay, you know what, others are not so, then there's no brainer. We would have gone directly with it. But in this case, we are a little close, and that is the reason we wanted to give you our feedback. Because what happens is, as we see, it may be more exciting that, hey, it looks good, a lot of things here, and so on. But what happens is suddenly, for example, you come here, all right, to this course and you say add to cart, and this may not be working, all right, and this functionality is broken, so your automation will stop there and you will not be able to continue with the next thing. Or look at any videos is they're playing, the videos are not yet embedded into this course, and that will become another problem too. All right, so this way there are challenges that can happen to it. And what I'm saying is, I think it's got that complexity, but it's not yet ready. However, if we go with Howley.in, which has got limited features, as part of it, we also create, let's say, a application independent framework. We could take this as a phase two for the people who are interested to do the second project in a shorter manner at on the new ITLN website. Hopefully, by then it should have most of the functionalities ready for testing, and do it and put that also as part of your portfolio on your resume. But again, that may not be something that we coordinate, but you can take the same approach, try and coordinate with few of the team members and see if you want to get there. That's a possibility. Once you start connecting with people, then it becomes easy to. So if we are good, we will go with Howley.in for the this project. And as I said, you could volunteer and team up with a few of the team members and take the beta version of the second beta version of IT Learn as the follow up project and do it at your own end. You don't have to come and present it to us and so on, but you can do it at your end. Is that agreeable? Anyone has any strong recommendations on it, please? Sorry, I think the screen was not completely shared. So yeah, that's right. IT learn is not stable, so we will face a lot of challenges. Not yet, at least, because in the next 2 3 weeks, I think the preparation level will increase, so we should be able to get there. All right, team. So let's choose Howley.in. I'm glad that, as I said, it was almost close enough decision that we could come in and give our feedback and recommendation to pick the right one. And let's volunteer to do the second project. If it helps you from a practice, if it helps you from a resume perspective, we'll be very glad to honor that and we can go forward there. All right, great. So we have this. Now, the next thing that is very important is the team sheet. So give me 1 second. Oops, I don't think I shared the screen yet. I just want to make sure that the contact details are not visible, which are right now. And also, Manoj, the country is missing. I don't know why we have missed out the country here. All right, team. So here are the teams that we have come across. I want everyone to look for your own name or your friend's name that you've been working with for the previous, especially for the most master software testing batches, and see if your name is here. Okay. And if your name ain't here, very simple, send an email to learn at itlearn and manoj at itlearn.com, and we will get you onto it. All right. So we have roughly, as I said, about 73 participants who have opted for this project. Each project, each team, we have close to 10 to 11 participants. And as I said, we expect to see teams with an active team size of 7 to 8. All right. Now, remember this team. It is not the quantity of automation that is important or testing, it is the pure quality of every deliverable, right from your automation plan, right from your effort estimations, right from your timeline scheduling, minutes of meeting, how you have come up with your presentations, how you come up with the logic of saying what scripts you've used, how has the documentation been, how have you stored them using any simple test management tools. All of these things will become very important. Okay, so please make sure that you interact very strongly with your team members and plan this ahead. The reviews are going to be very critical, team. Okay. Now I have quickly shared this sheet. Hopefully you've seen your name. But if that got missed out for any reason, what we will do is we will make sure that you will get access to this folder. Communicate to us. We will get you there. If there are names missing, that's fine. Don't worry too much. We'll get you on there. This is the list that we made so far. So scope of testing team, primarily functional. Yes, we will also do regression testing. We will create automation test suite. All right. To what extent you could create as the initial phase one, I would say, simple web driver scripts. As a phase two, you could create a data driven framework. As a phase three, you could create a keyword driven framework or a hybrid framework for this app. Fair enough. This is what we should do. When I say phase one, all of this phase one, phase two, phase three, we expect to see all these phases completed in an overall timeline of 3 weeks. Okay, I believe, I'm not sure of the exact date, but I'm anticipating 3 weeks. Let's assume that this is the week one. In by the end of 3 weeks, we should be able to done. And assume that each phase is 1 week. Okay. Now, what happens is very simple, team. You will each phase is 1 week. When you come back next week, you will talk about your automation strategy. Okay, what is your automation strategy, automation plan, and strategy will be the first session that you will present to the audience. Okay, team, this is going to be super exciting. Trust me on this. When you come in and speak in front of this 75 80 people, and there are more people who will continue to join in the next 1 2 days, it will be super exciting because number one, it will be thrilling. You're public speaking. Okay, and you're speaking about your project. There are going to be high emotions. There are going to be high feelings. But I challenge your team, do it, and you will love it. You will be so happy having done one presentation that you will sleep like a baby at the end of the day. That gives you that real satisfaction and that real kick in what you've done. All right, just doing, submitting, and not getting, because what happens, team, despite the negative feedback, there's a lot of positivity that will come to you. And I don't mean to say that negative, just that be ready for some straight comments. Okay, just be ready for it. The positive feedbacks, the end of the session, you'll get the feedback and reviews from everyone else who'll say congratulations, great job, well done, because they understand you as a peer. So it will really motivate you team. Okay, so get ready for these presentations. Next session, you're going to come as a team and tell us your automation plan and strategy. How will you do your phase one? How will you do your phase two? How will you do your phase three? What will be included in each of them? What's going to be the scope and so on? Okay, and then how you're going to split it across your team. And take initiative, team. Take initiative within your team to mentor others. the participants who don't have enough skill on a certain area, sorry, you mentor them. And one belief that I strongly live with is, if you really want to master something, start teaching it. The minute you start teaching it, you will understand how you need to learn, so that you are in a position for someone else to grab from you. Okay, get an opportunity to teach, never say no, go for it. Paid, non-paid does not matter, and it will give you a very high in life, team. So go for that. Guide the participants who have not there, from a skill perspective, and you will improve yourself. Also, please keep a very, very positive atmosphere and a positive attitude. These are some thumb rules that we have to all stick with, team. We don't want bullies in here. We don't want aggressive participants who saying that, oh, no, 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 I'll take all the work, do it, don't worry. Or we don't want non-team players. Okay, let me be very clear on this. Okay, no bullies. And I'm not kidding, team. This happens. I've seen thousands of people work with me in multiple projects across the globe. I've seen how things happen. Okay, we need positive attitude. We don't want no show offs. When I say show offs, people showing off more than what they've done. Okay, and what else did I say? No, do it all. Or no, do it all, saying that, what, I'll do it all kind of things. And you have to be team player only. You cannot be an individual performer. If you're an individual performer, team, we will not honor you. If you believe you're a superman in this field, great, then teach others, mentor others. That's when you'll become better even more. Okay, please keep some ground rules ready, so you understand that we respect others, we honor their skill, we uh, understand where they come from, and take things accordingly. Okay, now, for the first thing that you will look at is your first internal team meeting. So what does it mean? What it means is, for example, let's look at Tech Pirates. Okay, Tech Pirates, the entire team is going to come together and have a call. When you decide how, when I if I expand these two columns, you will see the name, sorry, the email address. I don't believe there's a phone number, but email address and country is missing right now. Email address in that columns. You take those emails for your team, send a group email, and say, hey guys, this is so and so, I live in this time zone, this is my WhatsApp number, I'm also on Skype on this ID. Let's get on to the first call. Get onto a call, organize a call, use Skype, use GoToMeeting, trial version, whatever you want, get onto it. Don't come and ask us, hey Karthik, how do we do this, that? Find a solution, get going. We don't want to give you fish, we only will teach you fishing. Is it clear, team? All right. So be very self-independent. You have a team, try and bank on them. Don't come and ask us stupid questions. The reason I'm saying is, you will get a proper response if you do that. Very simple. You have a good team, work as a team, work as a team player. Always go back to the thumb rules, make sure that you stick with it, and go very aggressive in that direction. All right, so I've given you that information, how you can contact with your team, what you're going to do next, and then plan up a schedule and say that, hey, you know what, why don't you work on this? Why don't we work on this? Why don't we together sit down and do it for 2 hours? Let's have a go-to meeting. Let's one person start working on a document and others start adding, whatever be it. Come up, team. And you will see at the end of this, when teams come back to present, 15 minutes from each team towards the end of this week, you will see how different feedbacks you will get, each participating doing it differently, and so on. Okay, this is the only session, hopefully the last session, where I speak so much. From now on, it's going to be the sessions where you're going to speak and we're going to listen. All right, and then all you will see are feedbacks from us, hopefully positive. But trust me, team, the more challenging, the more critical, the better our learning. Fair enough, everyone? I think I'm done with what I wanted to say for this session. I would be rather happy to take questions. If you want to speak, this is a session. Unlike the live trainings, you are more than welcome to speak out here. So I will be glad to unmute you once you raise your hand to take up questions. What to expect through this project? I said automation and test management tools. We already know we're going with Selenium. That's our focus. So primary team, stick with Selenium, WebDriver, not much of IDE. You may do one or two scripts on IDE, and that's about it. Don't do too much. Okay, just the fact that you also The reason I'm saying why should you do IDE? Anyone can answer me why should you do IDE? And ask that question of why so many times still. My don't you don't believe my teams get frustrated at the amount of whys I ask. Why are you doing this? Why? I keep on asking till I get to the root cause. And that gives so much clarity on decisions of why we're doing. Why should you do IDE? To find elements for XPath, yes. But other than that, I'm also saying create a few test cases and test suites within IDE as well. Why? Because when you put up your resume, IDE will get mentioned in the resume in a couple of times or a couple of places. And when you put that resume in a Dice or a Monster or a Career Builder or any job portals, and someone is searching with the keyword IDE, your profile will also show up. Okay, it is not wrong to have IDE team. It is not enough to have IDE on your profile. Okay, now you understand why. Is there a clarity, everyone? All right. So, guys, don't ask coordinate with me about if you're traveling or you're on vacation and so on. Please coordinate with your team. That sheet will be shared with you all. You can coordinate with your team, please. And do not try and send broadcast emails to everyone in that group. Okay. It is not going to be appreciated. Stick with your own teams. All right, team. So, I think what we should do, Manoj, is we should individually, rather than sharing that entire sheet, send an email to the individual group saying that hey, team pirates welcome, team challenges welcome, and so on, and just give the BCC email and the teams can take it off from there. All right, great. So I hope there's a clarity there. We said WebDriver, very little bit of IDE, code Java. Oops, where am I writing? Code Java, JUnit. You'll also do automation frameworks. This is what we will stick with. So you could use tools like Jira or Bugzilla, more simple test management tools, or even simple Word and Excel. It's your choice, team, how you want to plug it in. But make sure that the priorities are on these three, and it is not that you know what, I will not do phase one and phase two. I will only focus on phase three and so on. No, it has to be even. It has to be gradual. Your hands will be itching to say that I want to get into the big coding. I want to do that beautiful things. No, you will start with the foundation always. You will start at ground level, and we will build on it. All right, team, I am open to take questions. Anyone, feedback questions, anything, please raise your hand and I would unmute you. I believe right now I just have two hands. Let's see. Sarita. Oops, why can't I mute you there? Okay, there you go. Sarita, you have a question for me? You have a question for me, Sarita? I guess no. Let's see. Naren, do you have a question for me? Guys, raise your
Yeah, hi,
hand if
Karthik.
you want to talk. Sorry. Go ahead, Naren. Can you repeat?
Yes, hi, Karthik. This is the first time I'm attending, so I'm not sure. I think probably this is in between. I got in, so I'm not even sure. So it's something about these teams and all. I do not know. I just received an email and
Fair enough.
I just
Naren,
joined the webinar.
let's do this.
So
Look at your email back. It will talk about the orientation session. That is the first thing you need to watch, which we did it last Thursday or Friday. And then you look at this video once again, you will get an idea, and then you can come back about next steps, please. Fair enough?
okay, okay.
All right. Thank you.
So I should know.
Sorry, Naren, I got muted there because Naren, the reason is I'm trying to entertain questions which are relevant to the project, not pre-project. So all your questions should be there in the orientation and so on. I would appreciate go through those videos and interact with my team. They will be happy to help you out there. Rina, go ahead, please. Rina?
Hi Karthik. As I can see my name is. Can you hear me,
Yes.
Karthik? Hello.
Yes. Yes, Rina. Go ahead.
Okay, Karthik. My question is because as I can see my name in the team and see most of the members are same like QA project, but some members didn't start it and some members left us at the last moment. So we left only two members who were working and we are still working on our QA project. So if this happens, what we should do.
What we will do is, Rina, the good thing is since we're starting with 11 rather than 6 or 7, we expect to have a teams of at least 4 or 5 in it by end of it, at least. If by any circumstance that number is getting 4 or less, we will merge the teams together. Tell us early, we will get you together into with other teams. Fair enough?
Because what happened, Karthik, nobody told us that they are leaving the team. Till last moment, they are saying we are working, we are doing our work, whatever we divided in the team members. But still the last moment, they didn't say we are leaving, but they didn't contribute in our project work like a team.
I
So,
understand.
but still we are doing whatever we can do. So in that case, so
Fair
we
enough. So
couldn't know earlier.
right. So I understand, Rina. And should you be happy about it or sad?
No, I'm happy because we are learning more, but only problem is we are get a little bit delayed than the other
I,
teams.
that's what I wanted to hear from you. Okay, you're working harder, it's challenging, and you're learning more. That's good. I'm sorry that you had to, but it's a good exposure. This is a good project for you. Now, does this happen in real world where people leave without information, or clients would know about that the candidate actually didn't work for the last 1 month? Does it
Uh,
happen? Let me tell you this. It has
I don't know because this is my first time.
Okay, I understand. So let me tell you my viewpoint. It does happen. All right. There is a client who will hire a vendor, like a large, let's say, Indian IT organization. I don't want to take names. And I'm not even saying that it is done intentionally, but a lot of times what happens, let's say they'll say 100 people in this project. And the vendor, the IT organization, puts 100 people, let's say 20 on site and 80 people in the offshore. Out of these 80 people in the onshore, they give the names of everyone. Now, suddenly, one person has gone on a marriage vacation or has put in the papers or is in a long term disability leave. The communication does not go straight to the client saying that, hey, you know what, this is what has happened. Sometimes they will, out of the 80, you know what, don't worry, forget it. Why communicate and cause the ripples? Let's keep executing and so on. And the client suddenly may do an audit after a month or two and realize that where are the timesheets for this individual? Has the individual really worked and so on? We can always go back and say, hey, listen, we have delivered the work for you. Don't worry. Two or three individuals may be missing the sheet. Nope, not agreeable. That has to be communicated. That is the right way of doing. But does it happen? Absolutely, it happens. All right. So people abscond from projects, they leave, they have priorities, they have changes, and that's how we will live it. Thank you, Rina, for bringing up the question. I hope I have answered. We are in a much better shape this project because of the quantity of people, and we should be able to do it. The other thing you should be able to do is you can realize early enough to say that someone is active and not active. The minute as two or three members of your team come together and realize that, hey, that X or Y or Z is not showing too much activity, inform Manoj, inform Shankar. That way, we'll be able to try and look at things early enough. All right?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Cecilia, all yours.
Hi, Karthik. I would like to know whether we should be ready with the test plan on Wednesday.
Yes, you should be ready with your automation test plan. Now,
Thank.
it doesn't have to be a very detailed, elaborate document, but it has to be a complete document. To the extent of what is needed, it
Okay.
should be a complete document.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Sunita, yours, please.
Hi, Karthik. My question was about the automation plan and strategy document that we will be presenting. Do you have any templates that we can look into? Like, I would like to know your expectation for that. Are you thinking of a PowerPoint presentation? Like, any expectation on the number of test cases we have to be doing?
Yeah.
Things like that.
So I would ask Sunita you to follow up with your team members and come up with your own idea. I want you to have that brainstorming or a small debate. Hey, should we do a Word doc, a PowerPoint, or an Excel? And or should we do a estimation in an Excel, embed it into a Word doc, and then do a PowerPoint layover presentation? So come up with something. You guys decide. I will not influence your decision on that. But yes, we're looking at a complete presentation on that area. Did I
Okay,
answer
thank
your
you.
complete question? Is there something else that got left over?
I was wondering about the any expectation on the number of test cases. Like I know it is a limited time project with just 1 week in the phase one. So is there any expectation on the number of test cases, or is it just the quality of the test cases?
I would say both, because right now we're looking at an end-to-end automation suite. So if you look at, there's a finite, limited number of videos, there's a limited number of content, but at the same time, and the layout is very fixed. So you could look at the functionality, you could look at the application and be able to come up both the number and the quality. Quality, there can never be a compromise. You do 10 things lesser, I have sometimes it's acceptable, but it has to be of high quality for sure. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Sunita. All right, who do we have? Himanshu. Himanshu.
Yeah, hi Karthik.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
yes.
Yeah, so I was wondering that since we have to come up with plan by Wednesday, so I think we need to have a sync up meeting within a team as early as today, I think. And also one more thing that there has to be someone in the team we have to decide to be a moderator or a scrum master or whatever you'd like to call it to have I mean to sync up with things and not repeat not get the task redundantly done by everyone, so things like that. So it is up to us to decide who should be the somewhat uh, scrum master's role, or it's you going to decide that for us. I don't know.
You will decide, Himanshu. You guys will decide. And
Okay.
the reason is
Okay.
we strongly believe that the team is matured enough. We have that
Mm-hmm.
level of expertise, and we know that people would rather say, hey, why don't you do it this time? Why don't you do it next time? Why don't you do it now? And have that. Whenever you have a question, you can go back to some of these ground rules and make sure that we're all participating in a very positive way. And that should take care of it. If things are
Okay.
broken,
My only okay. I'm sorry. Cut you short.
no problem. If things are broken completely, it's unavoidable, then come to us. Otherwise, we want you to be self sufficient in everything. Even, for example, I got an earlier question saying that can we get a template? Nope, I will not provide any template. Look at the training content, look at what we've done, go to Google, go to our tech forum, and get the information. Uh, that was an answer to the earlier question. You were saying something else.
Yeah, see, I'm joining it for the first time, so I don't know well enough all the team members, so that
And
was my
that's
concern.
the excitement. That's the unknown. And I'm sorry, I cut you short as well, but that's correct. But listen, what you have, Himanshu, you are right now the voice for dozens of others in the session. Right? They have
Hmm.
exactly the same questions. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to give very little information upfront. I'm trying to keep it so that when you guys come together, it's going to be exciting enough to explore, see not only what you will come up with, what other teams will do. All right.
Hmm.
And then you'll
Hmm.
start seeing, oh, okay. It's not going to be a smooth ride, guys. It's going to be a very, very rough ride, but you will enjoy it. You will, at the end of it, you will come up as a winner.
Right. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Himanshu. Hema, you have a question?
Hello.
You have a question, Hema?
Yes,
Right.
Karthik. Regarding this automation plan and strategy, like we are going to present it on Wednesday, are you going to divide the project into modules for all the teams, or all the teams are working on the whole thing as a for the test plan?
The second one, all the teams will work on the complete thing. So your team will be working on
Okay.
the complete project, not one module per team. So there's redundancy. You will see the same project being executed in half a dozen different styles by different teams. It is going to be completely different images, approach, and everything. And that gives us a plenty of wisdom to learn from ours and learn from others as well.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you. Akil, unmuted you.
Hey, hi Karthik.
Hey, can you be louder, Akil, please?
Hi Karthik, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. Um, first question is, okay, do we have access to any requirement documentation to come up with our plans? And the second one is, how do we get access to the tools? For example, say, if we want to use Jira as a bug management tool, how can we do that? Do we connect your VPN to your site and then access it?
I don't know. I don't know anything. What I'm saying is, I want you to explore. I want you to come up with it and say. That is the question you're going to ask the team. Right? There's no requirement document. What do we do, team, now? There's no uh, tool access. What do we do? So you should explore that with your team and come up with a thought process. I definitely have the answers, but I don't want to provide them right now. Okay? I want you to get into your team calls and discuss them. You will come up with your solutions.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. What I'm doing is I'm going to create a question and answer document. Okay. Now, for example, a question can be asked here saying that, will you provide template access to a automation plan template? And here is an answer, and I'll say this is answered by Karthik. I will say no, please search and get your own template. If I give a template, every team will do in the same template. But I want you to explore, I want you to come up. Now, this is a common sheet. Anyone has a question can put a question here. Either technical team or other members, anyone can answer here. Okay. Is there a requirement spec doc? I will say Karthik is saying no. I don't know what other teams may answer. I guess someone else may come and say, I guess we need to create our own version by looking at the application or AUT and so on. Okay, so this is going to be kind of a whiteboard where everyone can come in and start putting their thoughts. Fair enough? I'll just say whiteboard Q&A. This is going to be the document team where you will all have access to it, and then we will start working on it accordingly. All right, great. Thank you. So, team, I'm going to take the last couple of questions. We're already at the timeline. Manoj, Shankar, if you have any questions in the meanwhile, please feel free to um, speak out, please. Charmin, do you have a question? Charmin, do you have a question?
Yeah, hi Karthik. I'm very new in automation industry. I do not yet learn the QTP. Is it needed to learn QTP first and then Selenium?
So, Charmin, I respect your question. I don't want to be rude and.
Hello, do you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me back?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So, Charmaine, I didn't want to be rude and tell you, not give you an answer. I will give you an answer, but it was not relevant to this session, please. Next time, let's try and keep it relevant to the session. Any of those questions, take it with the team. From my perspective, it does not matter if you learn QTP or Selenium. From a ease, both are equally easy. Okay, and at least I have that confidence in the way we at IT we learn. You should take a decision based on what you think the market needs and go with it. All right. So don't worry about which one is more complex, which one is easy, what you should start. There is no thumb rule to it.
No. I just want to know. I need to. I want to start with Selenium, but I just want to know that would I need to learn first QTP to start
No, you don't.
Selenium, or without QTP I can start with Selenium?
You can start Selenium directly. You don't need one tool. They're independent.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Sarita, I think I answered your question. Akhil, you're the last one. I'm going to take a question from you and then we'll end it. Go ahead, please, Akhil.
No, I think I'm good, Karthik. I've already asked my question.
Oh, you did. Okay, great. Great, guys. Thank you so much. I know I'm not sure if I've left any questions from the chat, but what I will recommend is I'm assuming that the team has started to answer some of the questions I didn't see from Manoj or Shankar on it. But let's do this. Let's meet on the next session. You will get the schedules automatically updated on GoToWebinar in case there's any change. And keep a tab on emails. Keep a communication within your team, and you should be self-sufficient from there on. We look forward for your participation. We look forward to you being there in the next session with us. Thank you so much. Take care. Have a wonderful week ahead. Thank you all. Bye then.